Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 86. If you are seeing this for the first time, go check the link to the playlist in the description. So let's continue, guys.
Part 86 of How I Married a Man That Didn't Exist. We're getting down to final details. So the incidents are happening still, but they're becoming less frequent. There are weeks between incidents sometimes. So it's important to pay attention to the dates that I'm saying, because there is gaps between a lot of these from this point moving forward. I'm not sure when story time is going to be done. It's going to be within the next week. Like I said, the timeline is ticking down now until we get up to the point where I'm here with you today. So we left off with knowing exactly who those messages were meant for. I'm going to read the last message that I read in the previous video. I'm talking into my phone. It's Rob. I told you I have nothing to say to that woman. After that, she sent me 2 more messages. One not too long after that, and then another hours later that was completely unrelated about the girls. I did not respond. At that point, I had nothing to say. I was furious. And at this point, for a little bit of time now, I had been making video diaries, and I may share some of those actually at some point. So I was coming home and I would turn on the camera on my phone and I would just talk. So I have like real footage of my emotions and what was going on in these exact incidences. Please. Anyway, later that night, she sent yet another message that said, "Are you mad at me?" Yes, but I didn't respond. I didn't say a damn thing. But you would only ask me that if you had a guilty conscience and you knew that I was right with what the fuck I said, and you're trying to hide it. So about a week passes by, and on March 7th, Emily texts me. It was a cold text message. I could feel the chill behind it. "Do you want that 120 from Rob or not?" I said yes, so I can pay the divorce fee. She said, "Okay, I'll send it to you tomorrow." Now, at this time, when he stepped up to help out, I initially had said no. I was not going to accept money from him because I didn't want it. I didn't need it. I didn't want anything from him. And taking that, I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but in my mind, if I would have accepted money from him, I would have lost. I felt like I would have been defeated. Like, yeah, look at you taking something from me now. Like, oh yeah, look, I helped you out in some way. Look, I'm doing you a favor. I don't like that shit in my day-to-day. Much less from this fucking buffoon. I didn't need him hanging anything over my head. Not that he could, because I know what happened. You guys know what happened. They know what happened. But the thought of taking any sort of anything from him, especially monetary, turned my stomach. And it took me a lot of thinking to be like, Chastity, this is just a faster way to get the divorce done. Like, fuck what they think. Just take the money, girl. I didn't like it one bit. But I also knew I shouldn't have to foot the bill for this fucking divorce. So, March 8th, she says, "I have the money from Rob. He wants to know what he has to do now." So, I had told her what the process was, and that once that fee was paid, that they would tell me what comes next. He would get an email, whatever. So, at this point, I asked Emily about staying on the car insurance. I was on Emily's car insurance plan. I had been since I moved over here that August to have a family. And I didn't think about that at the time because I'm like, this is my mother-in-law. And me being added to her insurance, my insurance went down by like $300. Okay? So of course I did it. After I moved out, we didn't discuss the insurance. I stayed on it and I was just sending her the money every month. Now that I had not been talking to her, I had not been responding, I asked her if she was okay with me staying on it, and she said yes. It was just cheaper every month. Mind you, at this time, I'm still trying to figure out my finances and how I budget with the new bills that I have, my rent, and cheaper was better. I did not want to go back to paying $300 more like I had been. So I stayed on the insurance. March 11th, she said, I talked to Rob and he has no problem paying half of the filing fee and the notary. So I guess at some point we had come to an agreement, mind you, I still had no communication with him, that for the next fee coming up, which was the notary and the filing fee, we were going to go halvesies. March 14th, I sent Emily an email on the next steps to the divorce. It would have been $200. And then she asked if I had paid for the last fee with the money that she sent me from Rob, and I sent her the receipt to that. So the next steps were $200. That meant that we would have been splitting that each way $100. March 14th, again, this must have been earlier or the day before. The eldest girl had ran away in the middle of the night. She went into the garage, took one of the bicycles, pushed it through the house as not to open the garage door and wake anybody up. She stole the little sister's phone and she ran away. This happened probably between the hours of 3 to 5 a.m. When Emily woke up to get her ready for school around 7 a.m., a little after 7, she realized that the eldest girl was not there. She realized the little girl's phone was gone. She realized the bicycle was gone. So she tried calling the youngest girl's phone, and the eldest did pick up. She was miles away from home in an area that was not safe. Even though Emily and I were not having much communication at this time, she called me. I was on my way to work and she was freaking out. So my main concern is the eldest girl at this point. So I'm asking questions. She was in the car at this point and she was on the way to find her. She didn't know exactly where she was. She just had a street name and a general location. But the length of this road was significant. This was a very long road. She could have been anywhere. It was at that point that the youngest girl's phone died. And Emily no longer had active contact with the eldest. So she didn't know where she was. And she was looking around. She eventually found her, and as soon as I heard the eldest get in the car, Emily hung up the phone with me. So I don't know what that conversation was like. I can only imagine how bad it would have been. And I know she was scared, both Emily and the eldest girl, because I know I was scared and concerned. And wow, she did this for a reason. So later that day, Emily had been looking in the youngest girl's phone to find any clues as to what her thought process was. What are you doing? And the eldest girl had been looking up youth programs like group homes for troubled teens. She was looking for a place to go. She was the one that was more in trouble than the other girl. She was grounded a lot more often because of her grades. She did get very disrespectful at times. From what I understand, she had told Emily that she felt like she was a burden and everybody would just be happier if she was gone. That Emily would be happier if she was gone.
You guys remember when I was saying that? To me, I understand what Miss Chastity and Miss the other women went through. But you see those children, I'll keep saying it. Those children, because they are still grown up, they still have a long while to their healing. Like they still have a long road ahead of them. My heart goes out to those children. Oh.
Emily had a conversation with her, and I don't know what that was like other than they came to some sort of agreement or came to terms with each other. I love you. I'm sorry if I'm making you feel that way. What can I do to help you? This is all from Emily's mouth, so I don't know what that conversation was really like. But it just goes to speak at the mental state of this eldest girl who was 14 at this time, running away in the middle of the night at between 3 to 5 a.m. I wouldn't fucking do that. I don't take my trash out at night. I don't go to gas stations at night. These children have been through so much pain, so much trauma. And I'm trying to be careful with my words here. In my opinion only, Emily facilitates their trauma more than it needs to be because of her allowance of the fuck shit in their lives with their father. Part 80.
Oh, guys, like, I really am praying for all the women involved in this whole story that, they're able to heal. Even the children that, God will really help them to heal, even though they're still young. Some of them might not even understand what this whole experience is. Like the other one that is blaming herself. Guys, and this is... this experience, it has not come to an end because Miss Emily is not willing to do anything about it. She will continue to put them in this same situation until when they are older and take a stand. Which is why I say my heart is breaking on their behalf. Guys, I'll see you in part 87. Don't forget to like and subscribe.